Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And news it is today with the return of the Heavyweight News and Brief series. And if you do like this little news wrap, please give it the thumbs up. First up, Lucas Browne. He's looking to return to the ring in July in Sydney, Australia. The Australian, he picked up his first career loss in March when he was starched by Dillian Whyte in dramatic fashion at the O2 in London. And Browne, he's told worldboxingnews.net he's aiming to return on July 4th, and he does hope that after that he can fight again in the UK, seek some form of redemption. But in terms of working towards his next fight, Browne has admitted that his training and conditioning it's let him down, and he's vowed to transform himself.
Good morning. Today is the first day of the new journey for me. The journey of not fucking around while I'm here in Perth, etc. Normally I just do my thing over here in Perth and then head over to Sydney for training camp and actually get serious then. But this is serious full time, and unfortunately my last fight showed that I wasn't doing it full time and taking it seriously. So this is me, day one, taking it completely and utterly seriously, coming into the next fight and fights thereon in the best shape I can be. In the best condition I can be, and actually taking it seriously. So yeah, watch this space. I'm 124 kilos right this second, and this is the first day of many hard days to come. So watch this space, and it's going to be fun.
Dillian Whyte, he's expressed his desire to fight the best competition available, saying on social media that he wants to fight any two of Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Povetkin, Kubrat Pulev or Joseph Parker in the next 12 months. I would note the only other consensus top 5 or 6 guy that is missing from that list is Luis Ortiz. And just because it's Dillian Whyte, I did want to treat you to a little bit of his latest neck workout.
That's it.
Yeah. Good. Chin down.
Moving on, it's fight week for unbeaten American contender Jarrell Miller, who takes on 37-4 Frenchman Johann Duhaupas. Miller, he's heavily favoured heading into the fight at the Barclays Center in New York on April 28th. But he still had some time, generously, to provide fans an insight on social media on his preparations. Truly insightful stuff. It just really is. It gives you a sense of the man and his thought process. Johann Duhaupas, he's also been in a sharing mood about how his build-up is going. All funny business aside, there's been a ton of really good heavyweight fights in recent days that I did want to touch on, and most involving fringe contenders that are on the rise. So I'll start with one that I did catch live. That was Adrian Granat taking on fellow countryman Otto Wallin in Sundsvall, Sweden. And it wasn't quite the fireworks that we might have hoped for, but Wallin, he put on a really slick performance to easily outpoint Adrian Granat and improve his record to 20-0. And the judges, they all scored the fight quite wide to Wallin, who utilised his movement and superior technique. He did take away Adrian Granat's heavy hands. He frustrated Granat, and he just wasn't able to catch up with Wallin right throughout the fight, only able to land 1 or 2 telling blows throughout the fight, and it just wasn't enough. Meanwhile, Arjit Kabayel has cemented his place as a contender to watch out for by knocking out Miljan Rovkanin in 3 rounds. In doing so, he advanced to 18-0 and retained his EBU title. Kabayel is currently 10th in the WBC and IBF rankings respectively, and at 9 in the WBO. So it's possible he will continue his gradual climb up the rankings ladder after this latest performance. And there has been some speculation from some quarters that Otto Wallin may be potentially a good next target for Kabayel. They've got the EU belt and the EBU belt between them respectively, and they could bring that together. I'm not convinced that fight happens just yet, but it would be an interesting matchup of styles, especially given, well, how both guys can move and utilise the ring at times. And on that same card as Kabayel was WBO 5th ranked Tom Schwarz, who was involved in an ugly encounter with Senad Gashi, who was unbeaten heading into the fight, as is Schwarz. It was an interesting fight in that the unheralded Gashi, who had previously knocked out all 16 of his former opponents, he was really trying to bully Schwarz into the corners of the ring, and he was just swinging from the fences quite wildly at the times, but it was really entertaining stuff. But unfortunately, this got quite ugly in a foul type way, headbutts and such. It started to become a real factor, points were deducted, and it really devolved into an ugly affair. Eventually, Gashi, he was disqualified halfway through the scheduled 12 rounds. Before I go, there's been a couple of other notable results from recent days. Russian fringe contender Sergey Kuzmin, he's advanced to 12-0 after knocking out Jeremiah Karpinski in New York. And I must say, from this picture that was posted on Twitter, Kuzmin, he looks in terrible shape. Just look at that. Thomas Adamek, meanwhile, he proved that at 41 he still packs a punch. He knocked out Joey Abel in Poland, and Oscar Rivas, the fringe contender, he's moved to 23-0 with a KO over journeyman Sergio Ramirez in Montreal. That's all from me. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Drop a comment loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.